Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking all things quad lock, namely the Pro mount, wireless charging head and the dampener. And I've also got a little clever device called the Quad Lock Waterproof 12 volt USB smart adapter for those who are finding it a bit tricky to get power to their devices or their chargers. So we'll explore these in a bit more detail. I'll give you my thoughts, both positive and negative, and that all-important question, should you spend your hard-earned pennies on getting one? So stay tuned and we'll explore in a bit more detail. So that's a quad lock with my phone on, guys. I always have mine in landscape just for the sat-nav. To get the phone on and off, it's just a case of pushing that down and twisting as you normally would with any quad lock if you've got the appropriate case, and there's a light on there to show you that the actual thing is working. Just looking from the underside point of view there and just showing you how the cable attaches in the back of that. Taking it off the bike and looking at it inside, just a few close-ups. So this thing is really, really well made. If you've got quad lock products, you know how they screw together. They all sort of concertina into each other. You've got the vibration dampener there, which I highly recommend. I heard a lot of my friends where their phones have gone kaput because they haven't had one of those, and it's generally on the iPhone with the cameras, not necessarily affecting Samsung so much. But this thing is really well made. It's made of aluminium. It's dead simple to fit into the fork stem. You've got a couple of small Allen keys, I believe they are 4mm, where you can tighten the actual device up itself, which will also give you quite a bit of an adjustment depending on how you like the angle of your sat-nav or whatever you're particularly using your phone for. It does come with a hex key, Allen key, whatever you want to call it as well. It's compatible with all the quad lock cases as well, so yeah, fitting from a tube size point of view on your stem, that's from 12.4mm to 25.4mm. And one of the great things about this is how waterproof it is. So there's a shot I'm going to show you now where you can see that the adapter's slightly hanging out. So that's from the USB to the actual USB-C. So they vastly improved this. So that's not quite pushed in. And then the next shot I'll show you is where it's actually pushed in. It's really waterproof. When I've washed my bike with it on, I've had no ingress whatsoever. I haven't jet washed it because I generally don't jet wash my bike unless it's absolutely filthy. But I tend to obviously keep the jet wash away from the main controls. So it's certainly heavy rain I've been in with it. And it's not faulted, to be fair, because it is under the device. And on this Mark II, they've definitely made a real improvement with that. So, yeah, that's something really, really positive about it. So, lastly, I just want to give you my thoughts on this Quad Lock 12-volt smart USB adapter. If you've already got a 12-volt socket on your bike and the lock come factory fitted, or you may have fitted one if you've been able to wire it into the loop, you won't really need this. However, I was looking for a solution because I got neither of those. So I needed something to power this quad lock head. So I could just put my phone on, and every time the ignition on, this thing would come on. So basically how this works, it's got an on, an off, and an auto function. So the auto function keeps the device off until the input voltage rises above 13.5 volts. And turns it off when you turn the bike off when it drops below 12.5. So it's absolutely perfect to avoid, obviously, your battery draining. So there is plenty more information on the website about this adapter, guys, but I found it really, really useful, a great solution. Simple to fit, 2 ring terminals onto your battery, up to an inline fuse, up to the control box, and then leads up to a USB female A, allowing you then to connect your charging head into it with the supplied cables. So really, really simple. Let's just quickly then summarize in terms of price. So that device I've just been talking to you about is $29.99, £64 for the Quad Lock Stem Mount Pro. You've got the vibration dampener coming in at $15.99, and then the Quad Lock waterproof wireless charging head at $69.99. So a bit of a grand total there of $165. Obviously, you would need to, if you had not got any of that stuff or you've not got a phone case, you need to buy a phone case for them. And to be fair, they're fairly reasonable. So, final thoughts. Would I buy? Well, I have, clearly. Do I think it's value for money? I think it's a little bit on the expensive side. If you could shave another £40 off that, I'd probably snap your hand off because of a couple of things, the build quality, plus what it does for me in terms of solution for power supply. So that just leaves me to say thanks for watching, everyone. Obviously, it'd be great if you could like, share and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification, please, so you don't miss any other content. This has been Rob at UK Motor and Leisure. Have a good evening.